This is why Britain's Got Talent is 100% fake. Hey everyone, and welcome back to the SCREENY. Producers of Britain's Got Talent spent over a decade looking for the most gifted people out there. But were they also making fools of us this whole time? Turns out their commitment to contestants wasn't as wholehearted as they made it seem, and the public slammed them for running a freak show where every surprise is well rehearsed. BGT faced a lot of criticism over the years for being completely staged and giving a platform to people who didn't deserve their place under the spotlight. Let's take a look at 10 reasons why Britain's Got Talent is 100% fake. If you want to see us uncovering more secrets behind your favorite shows every day, don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
When it's good, it's absolutely amazing.
Number 10. The audition process is contrived and manipulative. Viewers of Britain's Got Talent often felt like the show is completely staged, and comedian Simon Brotkin confirmed their suspicions. He posed as an Orthodox Jewish rapper trying to win over the judges, but it was all a disguise. In reality, he wants to prove what's really going on behind the scenes during the audition process, which was already heavily criticized by the British media. According to Daily Mail, applicants were often kept waiting for hours with no food or drink provided, without even knowing if they'll be allowed to perform more than a few seconds of their act. Brotkin's criticism, however, focused on the show's contrived and manipulative nature. He claimed his arrival, registration, and leaving were all staged, and he was forced to reshoot each part of the process several times. Before facing judges, he was filmed looking nervous, happy, frustrated, and excited, and producers later used this footage to build their own narrative. He attended several auditions with producers before being ready to meet Simon Cowell, Amanda Holden, Alicia Dixon, and David Williams in the flesh. They asked him to change part of his performance and rephrase several answers he's given them, but Brotkin didn't have to bother because producers threw him out after his real identity was uncovered. BGT spokesperson claimed that he was asked to change his act due to its inappropriate content, and that was nothing uncommon since they're trying to make the show suitable for family viewing. Number 9. Majority of participants are recruited to the show. BGT fans love watching the auditions because they warm them up for the rest of the season by introducing dozens of new exciting contestants. This creates an illusion that joining this talent show was always their dream, but that's far from the truth. A couple of years ago, it was revealed 50% of acts that make it on air were actually headhunted by the producers. Lists of contenders who were approached to appear on the show include electropop band Super Powerless. They accepted the proposal to join Britain's Got Talent after being reassured their act will be portrayed in a positive light. But that didn't happen. They faced humiliation and ridicule, but most news outlets avoided covering the real story behind their demise because it would put them at risk of not receiving any coverage of the show in the future. Another notable example is dance troupe Escala that joined the show after they impressed the judge Simon Cowell during their performance at the X Factor rap party. Producers didn't feel there's anything fishy about their appearance on the show and stated Escala went through the same application and audition process as everyone else.
Tokyo Mars!
Number 8. Some of the stars already won talent shows. Britain's Got Talent fans felt cheated every time they discovered one of the contestants isn't exactly a newcomer to the show business. Producers were forced to repeatedly remind them they are open to any performer, be it professional or amateur, with any talent. That didn't help their case, especially after the public became aware some of the acts already had a successful run on talent shows outside the UK. One of the most notable cases are salsa dancing granny Patty and her dance partner Nico. Their moves impressed the judges back in 2014, but they already had experience competing on other talent shows. Patty and Nico were crowned winners on 2CQ Veils in Spain before appearing on BGT. Same thing happened with eccentric dance troupe Baby Yaga. They were placed second in the German series Das Supertalent and won Belgium's Got Talent in 2016 before appearing on the British version of the show. Producers weren't always welcoming to contestants who were connected to other talent shows. At the time of his audition, Rai Shaughnessy was already contractually obligated to appear on the first season of The Voice of Ireland that was airing at the same time as the new season of Britain's Got Talent. When Simon Cowell asked him about it, the young singer claimed he was just looking for a place that granted him freedom to express his own music, because the Irish show didn't allow him to do that. The demanding judge wasn't convinced by his argument and felt like he was taking the place from someone else.
Okay, that's all right, Pat.
Number 7. The treatment of children was heavily criticized. Talented kids became a must-have on pretty much every episode of Britain's Got Talent, but skeptics believe they shouldn't be anywhere near it. Taking part on a talent show the whole nation is watching tends to be a pretty overwhelming experience, and most people aren't trained to handle that kind of pressure. That includes kids who are still too young to drink or drive, but old enough to be humiliated in front of millions. Bruce Forsyth was one of the biggest critics of their involvement on the show, and he went on record saying this experience is too harrowing for young children. Forsyth felt like this show is putting them through a lot of emotional damage, especially because they're mostly there to fulfill the ambitions of their parents and teachers. Even Jessie J joined the debate by declaring it should be illegal to put kids through 3 or 4 auditions only to see them being ridiculed by the end. Number 6. Money-making machine. It doesn't take a genius to realize shows like Britain's Got Talent are there to make a financial gain, but sometimes it seems like they have no other purpose. Prize money reserved for the winner of the show seems paltry compared to the mountains of cash ITV is making each season. Rewards contestants receive for beating all of their competitors was cut in half a few years ago, and it currently amounts to £250,000. Obviously, it's not all about the money, since a spot on the show can open many doors for you, but you don't even have to compete for that to happen. No matter how many talented individuals walked onto the stage, the people judging them are still the ones profiting the most and making millions for sitting behind the desk. MC Kinky was one of the biggest critics of the show's greedy nature and called it a churn-em-out fast food form of putrid shit. He made this strong-worded comment after it became apparent that people behind this show have no intention of producing groundbreaking or interesting artists. According to MC Kinky, BGT is a low-rent game show with huge financial backing and support, with only one goal in mind: making money.
Attraction!
Number 5. Grooming contestants for stardom. The fact that producers single-handedly recruit half of the participants on the show raised some eyebrows, but fans were even more disappointed after an insider accused them of coaching one of the contestants years before he joined the show. Malicious blog posts about allegedly shady past of the singer Ronan Park started circulating on social media, and readers took the bait. The writer claimed the 5th season of the show was fixed so Park could come out victorious at the end. According to this anonymous source, Cowell's company Psycho started grooming the young singers 2 years before he was introduced to the public on Britain's Got Talent. Psycho Cowell and Park's family called these claims unfounded and believed the blog was written by cyberbullies who wanted to sabotage his success. Park came in second in the finale, but we'll never know if these malicious rumors actually cost him the victory. He wasn't the last candidate who reportedly had ties to people involved in the making of the show, but legal actions taken against his haters made his case pretty unique. Number 4. Lip-syncing accusations. Britain's Got Talent was often criticized for its lack of variety and favoring singers over other types of acts. That's why viewers came to expect high-quality performers in this category. But they felt tricked by the producers after it became obvious some contestants weren't actually singing live. They branded St. Patrick's Jr. Choir as cheaters, accusing them of lip-syncing during their act in the semi-finals. At one moment, their performance was stopped by the show's hosts because of technical difficulties, but the recording of the choir could be heard playing in the background for a brief moment. It didn't last for long, but it was long enough. Fans slammed them on social media, but producers came to their defense. They refuted the claims of miming with a pretty unconvincing explanation. According to them, a recording from their rehearsal was accidentally played while technicians were busy trying to fix the error behind the scenes. Number 3. Some participants are set to fail. Psychologist Glenn Wilson described Britain's Got Talent as a freak show that mainly focuses on contestants' deficiencies and shortcomings, not their talent. Some people are only there for comic relief, and the judges put a lot of effort into poking fun at them to make the show more entertaining. They're more likely to make the headlines the next day than those who are actually masters of their field. It was reported that the staff intentionally builds up hopes of those performers during the audition process. By doing so, they maximize the dramatic effect of rude comments given by the judges. According to the contract artists have to sign, showrunners are allowed to modify the footage any way they see fit, and they completely humiliated some of the candidates by doing so. One of those people was a singer and pianist Jessica Hobson. After watching her act, many viewers felt producers set her up for failure by picking a song that didn't suit her talents. Presenter Stephen Mulhern said there's no truth to these rumors, claiming that everyone at BGT supports contestants at all stages of the competition and puts a lot of effort into helping them reach their full potential. Number 2. Votes of the public don't really matter. Despite the fact the public gets to decide the winner of the show during each of the series, it always seems the judges are the ones in control. Shortly after Britain's Got Talent started airing, the bosses were accused of fixing the results by manipulating the viewers' vote. In all 5 live semi-finals, the acts performing last won the public poll and made it to the finish line. But BGT bosses claimed it was just a coincidence. Even after the pattern was broken, viewers still felt like their voice doesn't matter because Britain's Got Talent kept failing them. During Series 6, they launched a new mobile app that caused total chaos instead of making the voting process easier and more approachable. Thousands of fans bought the app, but they had a difficult time placing their votes after technical difficulties arose. Half of the votes didn't go through, and ITV was blamed for the glitch because they failed to ensure that the app worked smoothly before it saw the light of day.
Jules O'Dwyer Matisse!
Number 1. Misleading act took the win. Back in 2015, Jules O'Dwyer and Matisse won the hearts of millions and became champions of the 9th season of Britain's Got Talent. The nation fell in love with this astonishing dog act, but astonishment quickly vanished when they discovered Matisse wasn't the only dog Jules used during her final performance. She was actually involved in training multiple dogs, and even used a few of them during the semi-finals. Turns out one of the dogs was a dead ringer for Matisse, and she switched them up at one point because Matisse wasn't able to perform a tightrope section of the routine. During an interview the next morning, the trainer shared the details of her performance with the public, and they were furious after hearing about the switch-up. Her final act was dogged by complaints by angry viewers who felt the show was misleading because it tricked them into believing Jules only worked with Matisse the whole time. Simon Cowell said he knew nothing about the controversial situation and decided to launch an investigation into the matter. There was no evidence proving that O'Dwyer was at fault, and producers eventually apologized for the confusion and stated they should have made more details surrounding her performance more transparent. Thank you very much for watching today's video. Make sure to subscribe to our channel for more amazing content, and don't forget to check out one of our other 2 videos on the screen.